Hey, welcome to Graphic Policy Television, GPTV. I'm Brett. It's a new week of comics, and in my hands is one of those releases. It is Ruins of Ravencroft Carnage, spinning out of Absolute Carnage, the recent event that went on. It kind of spun out of Venom. Alright, so I have not read everything from Absolute Carnage, so some of this is kind of up in the air. And Ravencroft, what I'm going to say is, like, I don't know everything, in other words. And Ravencroft is not a location that I necessarily know very well in the Marvel Universe. So what I do know of Ravencroft is it is an institute for the criminally insane. So think like Arkham Asylum, that sort of thing, but done for the Marvel world. This isn't necessarily where, like, the supervillains go. They go to the raft, but this is kind of another thing that's out there to deal with horrible people. I don't know a lot about Ravencroft. I really don't know the history. I don't know how important it is, who's been in there, stuff like that. I just kind of know of it. And, you know, it was a location for Absolute Carnage, so I kind of know a bunch from that. That's about it. My depth is very thin. It's about as thin and it's about as deep as this comic itself. So this is written by Tieri. Angel Unzueta is the artist for modern day stuff. Guiu Vilanova is the artist for flashback stuff. Rachelle Rosenberg is the colorist, and Travis Lanham is the letterer. And what this is interesting in that it is the history of Ravencroft. The building has been destroyed. It's going to get rebuilt, or something's going to get built there. So the question is, you know, what's those next steps for Ravencroft? And before looking at the future of Ravencroft, it seems like a bunch of miniseries or a bunch of one-shots that are kind of tying together as a miniseries are going to be looking at the past of Ravencroft. The comic is interesting in that it dives way back in the day. We're talking like colonial days, and when, you know, it was New Amsterdam instead of New York, and the history of Ravencroft and kind of the terror, the mystery about the location. Very kind of feel like very Blair Witchy in many ways. I dig it. Like, it was interesting in that what I think the comic does really well is what's being done really well in Marvel as a whole, in that they are filling in gaps in the Marvel history and adding layers to stuff that already exists, creating a greater like tapestry for these characters and the Marvel history as a whole. You know, this ties into Venom and Null and symbiotes. There's some history there which is, I thought, really interesting. I'm sure folks will say that's a spoiler, but I don't really think so. I think it's kind of obvious coming out of Absolute Carnage that there was something there. And I really fascinated by this one shot in the series that's going to be following is that I want to know where this goes. Like, it feels like it is a piece of the puzzle of this bigger story that's going on that involves Null and Carnage and Venom and the symbiotes, that's going somewhere. And I just don't know what this piece of the puzzle is, like how it fits into the bigger picture. And that's why I'm really kind of fascinated to see where this series goes, because I'm hoping that it'll become clear as to what the deal is going on. So as someone who enjoys that meta story, who's been really enjoying what Donny Cates and a bunch of other creators have done, fleshing this concept out, you know, I'm really interested in seeing where this next the next steps are going with all of that. And I think we've seen some of that with the Thor #1. So I'm expecting this to be really, really interesting as well. The art's interesting. Like, it's kind of subdued, much more in a horror fashion. This isn't an action-packed filled comic that you're gonna, like, be super excited with tons of splash pages and all that. Really think more subtle and horror story than anything else. There's a lot that is hinted at, that is not shown, that allows your mind to take over, and obviously, you know, what you're going to think of is way worse than anything that shown on page. So, in that way, I think that the comic really succeeds in the art. And generally, the art's decent. Like, it's good art. There's some really small details, and I like that kind of hint. There's a lot of show, don't tell. But you know, overall, like, the comic's cool. Like, if you are into Null and Carnage and Venom and everything that's being done with that, you're gonna dig this story, this comic, and you should check it out. It is clearly a piece of the puzzle. If you haven't been paying attention to that stuff, if you didn't walk out of Absolute Carnage really digging that, if you haven't been reading Venom, you're probably not gonna like this as much. This is definitely geared towards the meta readers who have been enjoying the big picture story that's going on. So it's out in comic shops this week. You can go get it. There's a link beneath this video. Put in your zip code. It'll tell you the shops near you. No shop, no problem. We do have some affiliate links. There are affiliate links, so we get a small percentage of that by doing that. You help support our site, though, but really you should go support comic shops. Speaking of support, I want to thank Marvel for hooking us up with this review copy. We appreciate it, and thank you for watching. Now, if you're into Marvel, if you're into comics in general, Venom, Carnage, all that stuff, check us out every single day at graphicpolicy.com. We're on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, Tumblr, all at Graphic Policy, keeping it nice and consistent. So until next time, keep reading those comics, and keep it geeky. Hey, thanks for watching the previous video from Graphic Policy Television. Just by watching, you help support our site. Thank you so much. Now, if you're watching these videos, you probably care about geeky things like movies, television, comic books, toys, games, video games, you name it. You can go and subscribe right now to our YouTube channel to stay in touch and catch all the new videos, or check out our website at graphicpolicy.com. There's a nice link on this end of the video. But as always, thank you for watching. Keep on rocking and keep it geeky.